Hello, and welcome to episode 90 of the Stress Knits podcast. I am Stacy, also known as Stress Knits on Ravelry and Stress Knits Yarns on Instagram. I am the dyer behind Stress Knits Yarn. It's a tongue twister sometimes. And yeah, so I am here in my new office. I hope you enjoyed the office tour vlog thing that I did. It was so much fun just putting this room together. I am in love with it. I spend so much time in here when Eliza is sleeping or when Doug's home. It's just so nice to finally have a space and not take up the entire house with all of my stuff. So in this room is my shop stock. So it's all of this stuff, and then there's some bare yarn over here, and this wonderful thing that was in my old office, and it's just wonderful. This closet has all of my sample knits in it, both what I've knit and what others have knit, and I think this is just going to be my knitwear closet, which is really exciting because most of my knitwear lives in these two little pull-out drawers. That's what they're called. But yeah, so I love this room, and then all of my dye stuff and the drying racks with a bunch of yarn on them right now are downstairs because we were supposed to get rain yesterday. There's a door to the outside right here, which is super fun. We were supposed to get rain yesterday, and it never happened, and it's supposed to rain today, and it hasn't happened yet, so I'm a little bummed because my yarn would be dry by now because of how windy it's been, but it's fine. It'll be dry tomorrow. So if you're waiting on anything, it's going to be coming in the next few days. So super excited about that. That was a really long-winded intro that I don't feel like was necessary, but it's how I'm feeling. So I actually have show notes this time because I found my show notes notebook, which is really exciting. The last thing I had in here was the yarn substitution video, which was super fun. If you haven't checked that out, you really should. I'm really proud of it, so I hope you enjoy it. And I don't really have a lot to talk about because, so usually I podcast Wednesday or between Wednesday and Friday every week. It just kind of depends on Eliza's sleep schedule and like if I need to get stuff done, just whatever day really works. So I didn't podcast last week because I only had one thing that I was knitting on and I couldn't show it yet, but it's finally done. So this is the Stonecrop Pullover by Andrea Mowry. It is her 2019 Rhinebeck sweater that just got released today, like hours ago. And I was lucky enough to test it, so I'm going to stand up and show this to you. So here it is. I knit the size 5, which is a 46-inch circumference, so I have about 2-3 inches of positive ease, and I'm really enjoying it. I think it's perfect for how I am right now. And I have to tell you, this sweater has been a lesson in loving my postpartum body, which is something I've been struggling with. I'm just trying not to spin in this chair. I love it so much. But I've been really struggling with my postpartum body, and this sweater makes me feel good. It just does. I feel so confident in it, and I can't wait for crisp fall days where I can wear this all the time because I just feel so good with my high-waisted jeans and this cute little crop sweater that comes like right to my natural waist, and I'm in love with it. I think everybody should knit this. It's one of those sweaters like the Weekender that everybody who test knit it looks amazing in it, and we're in much different, like it's a giant, not a giant, but it's a big size range, which is really exciting. So it's a very size inclusive pattern. Yeah, and just everybody looks so good in it. So it made me really, really excited. I did separate for the sleeves a little early. I should have separated like down here, but I was worried it was going to be too swancho-y or how the Tecumseh was, and I wanted to separate just a little bit early, so that was one modification that I made, and I kind of did it on accident, but I'm glad that I did it. But if you want to hear more about the sweater in depth, because I'm not going to spend 13 minutes talking about this, head over to my Patreon page. There will be a link below. And all of my patrons have access to the whip down, which I also post on here, but they get it weeks in advance. So they've had the one that you guys will see on Friday, they've had it for like 2 weeks. So so I go into plenty of depth on the construction of this and my yarn choices, but we should probably talk about that right now. So my yarn choices. I used Quince & Co. Finch, which is their fingering weight in Audoin, and the contrast color is Spincycle, dyed in the wool, in Mississippi Marsala, which is my favorite Spincycle colorway that I never knit with because I don't know what to put it in, and this was the perfect remedy. So my favorite parts are these pinky periwinkle colors, and they happen in a few spots. It's like this entire sleeve is like that, but there's also the very end, this little chevron part is like a really bright red and a really weird green. And I was listening to a Spincycle interview, and this colorway is based off of the tomatoes that you get at a farmer's market in those weird green little baskets. It's perfect. I love this color so much. So I love the sweater. It is the Stonecrop Pullover, and there's also a cardigan version, and I believe it's steeked, which is really exciting, and I honestly think I might knit another one and do the cardigan version because I love the sweater so much, and I even might dye my own contrast color to go with another Spincycle color, because I do have a non-superwash. I just don't put it in the shop because nobody really wanted it when I did, but I do have one and I love it. So yes, this is my Rhinebeck sweater, number 1. I am going to Rhinebeck this year. I don't know if I mentioned that. I think I did, but I'm going to Rhinebeck with my husband Doug and our daughter Eliza. And so this will be one of my Rhinebeck sweaters. I think I'm going to do a costume change because I'm also participating. I'm a sponsor in the Unity Cal. And so that is hosted by Gemma Darling, so Danielle, and Chelsea Yarns. And the whole purpose of it is to promote unity within yarn shops and yarn dyers and makers. So it's just really makers supporting makers and business owners supporting business owners, which I think is really, really cool. And it's a lot of women business owners supporting other women business owners. So it's just a really amazing idea. But their cal is a cardigan. So I'm going to be knitting a cardigan. I've teased it before. I need to dye the yarn and get going on it. So I'm going to be knitting a sport weight cardigan, and it's by Bristol Ivy. I think it's called the Woodman cardigan. So I'm super excited about that. So stay tuned. I want to finish a few things before then. So I'll probably have a costume change in there somewhere. But I'm really excited about this. Everybody should knit this sweater. It fits so well, and you don't have to use Spincycle. You don't. But if you are someone who loves Spincycle and is on a tight budget and you can't just buy a bunch of it, this, in my size, I think up to a size 6 is only 2 skeins of Spincycle. So it's very doable, and it's also a very doable sweater if you want to only buy 1 or 2 at a time. So I think it's a really easy sweater to save up for and then use a more cost-effective main color. So like Quince & Company is much cheaper than Magpie Domestic Fingering, which is what this calls for. And I was going to buy it, but it just wasn't in my price range at the moment, so I just went with Quince & Company that was already in my stash, and it works perfectly. So if I think the Spincycle makes the sweater, but I don't think it's necessary if you can't swing that. So, yes, this sweater, I could talk for hours about it. I'm in love with it. I hope you are too, and I cannot wait to see all of your versions. So, with that, I am only knitting on a few other things, but one real project and the other are a bunch of small projects. So let's talk about the big project first. You've seen it many times. It is my No Frills pullover by PetiteKnit, and I have a whip down episode on this coming to the podcast on Friday. So you can hear me rant about size inclusivity on this pattern because it's ridiculous, but I love this sweater. So it's a weird thing. So this is the No Frills pullover sweater by PetiteKnit. I am knitting between a size large and a size extra large. So the largest size is a 47-inch bust, somewhere around there. It's less than a 48, which is ridiculous and not very size inclusive. But it is literally just a basic raglan with a fingering weight yarn held with a mohair. That's it. So you can really just kind of take this idea and find a sweater that is size inclusive and do it that way. Yeah, just putting that out there. Okay, so I'm using Stress Knits yarn in, I have my extras right here, in Sweet Disposition. I'm using my singles base. Here's my singles base. And my cloud base, which is my Baby Surrey Alpaca silk base. It's a wonderful alternative to mohair. There is less yardage because it is slightly thicker than mohair. I have some mohair right here. So this is my mohair base, and this is my cloud base. So it's slightly thicker. It's about 100 less yards. So I would take note of that if you want to use a Surrey alpaca. I know many dyers are having this at the moment. Just make sure you look at the yardage requirements instead of just buying what it calls for in mohair, if that makes sense. So I have all my extras are over there. I have 4 of Sweet Disposition on single and 5 of the Surrey alpaca. And I only think I'm going to need 3 of Sweet Disposition and 4 of Surrey alpaca, but I have extra ones in the same dye lot just in case. I'm really distracted because people are commenting on the sweater that I posted on my Instagram, so apologies. But yeah, I love it. So this sweater is wonderful. I already said I'm knitting the size between a size large and a size medium because my swatch came out a little bit bigger because I was going for the large and it came out between the large and extra large, and so I'm just going with it. I tried it on last night and it fits really well. I alternated skeins a little bit when I see that I'm coming close to the end of a skein, I start doing helical knitting, which is a wonderful technique. A lot of people have been talking about it, and it's a way that it's a jogless, it's essentially the jogless join. But there are so many amazing, I'm sorry, I'm so distracted. There are many amazing video tutorials on how to do it. But then because it's balancing 4 balls of yarn instead of 2 balls of yarn, I am alternating in spots and then I cut it and then I'm just knitting on one right now. And then I'm going to start alternating in about an inch or 2, and then I'll alternate for about an inch or 2, and then I will snip these skeins and then finish the sweater with the other 2, and then I will not be alternating on the sleeves. So that's how that's going, but it's creating the most velvet texture. I'm going to live in this sweater in the fall and winter here in Michigan, so really, really excited about this. And this is really the only project I want to be knitting on right now. There are plenty of things that I'm going to be knitting on, but that's really the project that has my heart at the moment. So, the other thing I've been knitting are swatches. So, I have a slight... I'm really bad at swatching. Swatching isn't really my thing, but now that I am finally starting to feel comfortable in my body and I want to knit for my body now instead of looking at things and going, oh, I'll knit that when I'm X pounds. But now that I'm loving my body and really just letting myself feel good because I feel good, because I'm taking care of myself, I'm comfortable knitting for myself, which is so exciting. So I want to make sure my garments actually fit. So I've been swatching and I've been playing around with a bunch of stress knits colors because I just want to see what things look like, and I want to be able to photograph them and share them with you all. And when I do shows, I want to have them with me so that you can feel it and really understand what it is. So I've already knit 2 swatches. You've seen both of them if you are a returning viewer. So this is my singles base birch with my cloud base in cheeks, and it creates this beautiful pink marl. So there's that. And then the other one is my swatch for my no frills sweater. And I just talked about that yarn. Yeah, so there's that swatch. And then I'm going to be knitting another no frills because I want to compare and contrast my halo base, which is my mohair base, with my Surrey alpaca base cloud. And I just want to be able to talk about it better because I've used both of them, but I haven't used them in a similar project. So the mohair I've used in my Birds of a Feather, and honestly, I hated it because I don't like knitting mohair by itself, but I do like knitting mohair when it's stranded with something else. So I'm going to be doing another no frills pullover, this time in my Accidental Gemini colorway. So this is both my, the Accidental Gemini colorway on my single base and my halo base. So in my Dogwood Knits bag, which I am obsessed with, I should have, no, I did not. Oh, I put it right over here. Let me roll this way. So, okay. This is what they look like individually. So I finished dyeing up pre-orders and got all of those out and realized I had a few extras, and I looked at everything and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to keep these for myself. So I have 3 on single, and this is what it looks like on single. And then this is what it looks like on halo, which I love. So these together make this. And I just love it. It's a very rose gold kind of sweater. It's very terracotta. I don't know. I just really love pinks and oranges together right now, and I just think this is wonderful. And plus, excuse me, this is such a special colorway because it is the colorway I dyed for my daughter's first birthday and was the fundraiser for March of Dimes. I don't know if I mentioned this, but we raised $300 for March of Dimes, and it still blows my mind, and I cry about it all the time because the organization is just so good. So, yeah, so there will be an upcoming no frills once this one is done. And I feel like they're different enough, right? I don't know. But I will be wearing both of those a lot. And last night, I fell in love with The Sims. So I've been playing a lot of Sims and knitting at the same time, and it's been a lot of fun. So last night I just stuffed the swatch in and just put it against my skin and made sure it didn't itch or anything, and it was warm, but I didn't itch. So that's a really good sign. So there's that swatch. And then the last completed swatch is of my succulents colorway. This is what the 2 yarns I used for my birds of a feather. So it's this really just pale minty green with darker splotches of dark green. So descriptive, Stacy. Yes, this, in case you're wondering, this is the colorway Amy Beth from the Fat Squirrel was talking about. And y'all, so many of you messaged me about Amy Beth talking about my yarn on her podcast, and it was surreal. So I was putting away my yarn after SSK, and I saw that she had new episodes, so I watched. And when she started talking about my yarn, I just sat and sobbed because I love Amy Beth so much, and it's been such a pleasure to meet her in the past few years and vend at the same show that she did, which was insane. And just knowing that she loved my yarn and my projects so much. But this is the Birds of a Feather yarn that she was referring to. Yeah, so this is succulents on both halo and single. And then the other swatch that I'm working on, I posted a picture of No Frills pullover pre-orders, and one of the combinations I used was Pillow Mint as the main color and Eliza as the mohair. So I had a little nugget of Pillow Mint left over. This actually might be for my What the Fade shawl. And then I just grabbed a skein of Eliza on halo. And so it's very subtle when it's on the fuzzier bases because that's just what the fuzzy bases do. And so I started the swatch. So it's there. You can actually kind of see the teals and pinks and yellows. Yeah, so there's that. And I might be making her a sweater in this combination for Rhinebeck. So those are the swatches I've been working on. And that's really all I've been knitting. I am planning on pulling my Ronan back out. So I am a supporter of Chelsea of Legacy Fiber Arts, of her Patreon, Chelsea Makes, and she is hosting a Brioche Bonanza, I think, knit along. And so I'm going to pull out my Ronan. Actually, let me show you my Ronan. Reach. Okay. So living in my Plystra bag, the dusty pink one, I have my Ronan. So this was my February cast on for my year of Andrea. And I'm almost done with the body. Almost. Pretty close. So, the sweater. So I'm knitting it out of Brooklyn Tweed Shelter in the Soot colorway, which is a nice dark gray. Sorry for all of the needle clanking. I know it's annoying. It's all wrinkled because it was in the bag. So I'm working on the bottom hem. I have about 2 inches left. So the bottom hem is in brioche, the cuffs are in brioche, and then there is a huge shawl collar in brioche that creates pockets. So that's what I have left to do. So I literally have all of the brioche left to do. And yeah, so I'm going to be finishing up this. This is my backup Rhinebeck sweater, so we'll see. For the community cowl. So you'll be seeing this a lot more. I'm going to try to drop this on the floor without making a lot of sound. Okay, and then I'm going to be casting on a Marley shawl by Andrea Mowry out of some Stress Knits yarn, and it's going to be pink and mint. And are we shocked? No, but I dyed up my green colorway. It's going to be Lake Effect, but Lake Effect has kind of evolved, and I'm really excited about it. It's a little darker, a little greener, so that's really exciting. Speaking of Lake Effect, I'm frogging a few things. So one of them is my second weekender because I made so many mistakes in this and I was just trying to get it done for SSK, and I didn't get it done for SSK, but I still displayed it because it's still great. I still love it, but there are some issues. So if you've watched the Whip Down episode, you know what the issues are. The seam is off center and the neck it just didn't line up, and there's some weird loose stitches. So I have the entire sweater plus a sleeve done, and I'm gonna frog it because I don't want to work on it. It's just not representative of my knitting, and I just don't like it. And it has nothing to do with the color. I love Lake Effect and I love my worsted base. I did not do a good job of knitting, and I think I was just super stressed out, and I just need to frog it. So this is going to get frogged. I might reknit it in the same colorway. I might knit it in a different of my worsted color. I love this sleeve though. I love this color. I'm probably going to reknit this in this color. But yeah, I'm gonna frog it and start again because I'm just not happy. And it's okay to not be happy with your knitting, and it's okay to frog things because it's just okay. So yeah, that's going to be frogged. And then I already frogged my Vertices Unite shawl. There was some yarn in there that I just didn't want to use anymore, so I frogged it, and I'm trying to figure out what other colors I have to do. I still have 3 of the 5 in my stash, which I'm super excited about. So it's the Woolberry, the Fiber Story, and the Cat Sandwich Fibers. They just need partners. So I might use some Stress Knits. I'll probably use some Sweet Sparrow because my stash is mostly Sweet Sparrow. But yeah, so that will also be coming up. So we have the Ronan and another Vertices Unite shawl and my Marley shawl. And no frills. So those will be coming up as I finish sweater. So I need to finish my no frills sweater and my So Faded pullover. And once I finish those, it'll be pretty good. I'm also going to start knitting Doug a new sweater. I'm going to frog his sweater that I knit as well. It just doesn't fit in the shoulders. I did set in seamed sleeves for the first time, and it just didn't go well, and I did it a few times, and just doesn't fit in the shoulders. It fits everywhere else, so I'm going to be repurposing that yarn. I might use it for my Veronica, which I've wanted to knit for a while, and I'm going to just be knitting him a flax by Tin Can Knits in an oatmeal kind of color, probably out of Quince & Company. So that'll also be happening. I'm going to try to get done for Rhinebeck, but let's be honest, it'll probably be done for Christmas. But he doesn't know about it, so we'll see. Yeah, so with that, let's talk about Stress Knits news. So if you're not interested in Stress Knits, I just want to thank you so much for watching. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. And if you are a new viewer, thank you so much for checking me out. So we're going to talk about my hand-dyed yarn company, Stress Knits. There's a few things that we just need to chat about. So first, Hanukkah celebrations are finally in the shop. I know a few of you have already found it, but there are still about 50 spots left. So if you are interested in a Hanukkah celebration, if you celebrate Hanukkah or you just want the Hanukkah celebration, it is 7 mini skeins plus 1 full skein, and they start at $75, and I think so that's for favorite, and then Sparkle is $80, somewhere in there, because there is a price difference between my favorite base and my Sparkle base, so that is shown in the pricing. I'm super excited about that. And then I also added about 20 more spots in my advent calendar, which is super exciting. So if you want my advent calendar and you weren't able to grab it when the last round went up, they're in the shop, and everything's going to be coming down the last day of August. so that I can get dyeing and they can be out to you November. That's crazy. I can't believe we're almost there. And I'm wearing my Rhinebecks. I'm so excited. I'm so ready for it to be fall. Pumpkin spice lattes are back August 28th. August 28th. Like 2 more weeks. So instead of just having my black iced coffee with vanilla or cold brew, it's going to be pumpkin spice cold brew, and I'm so excited. It's really when I'm living my best life, besides when it's snowing. Okay, so Advent calendar and Hanukkah celebrations are in the shop until September 1st, and then I will start dyeing them. And then Ghetto pre-orders are in the shop. If you are a fan of the Ghetto Pullover, sorry, I'm so distracted by notifications, I need to stop staring at them. The Ghetto Pullover by Skinanigans. It is a beautiful textured yoke with stripes of minis all the way down, and I have pre-orders for the original colorways. A few of you have already snagged them, and those pre-orders are going out this week, which are really exciting. They're drying down in the basement right now. And I'm going to be pulling those September 1st as well, but they will always be around for custom orders. I just need to clear some space to get some Advent calendar dyeing done. And they're very labor intensive to dye because of all of the minis. So, yeah, so those are in the shop. And then, my favorite murder colorways are coming back September 1st. I'm so excited. Are you excited? So I will be having an update on September 1st of all of my favorite murder colorways that I'm bringing into the shop full time. So there will be SSDGM, Stay Out of the Forest, Sweet Baby Angle, Triflers Need Not Apply, it's new ones. Call Your Dad, You're in a Cult is only available for custom order and as a part of the mini skein kit because it's just not really my aesthetic anymore, but I still really love it and it's a part of the main kit. So mini skein kit, but there will be some Wheat Woo, some Exactly Right, possibly an Elvis Want a Cookie, and if you have any quotes that you would like me to use, just leave comments below and I will possibly use them. But yeah, so they will be available in full skeins, and there are still some mini skein sets left in the shop of the My Favorite Murder colorways, so hop on that if you're interested. And there are some full skeins of Triflers Need Not Apply and Sweet Baby Angle. Are those the only 2 I have left? Yes, they're the only 2 I have left. Let me show you. Let me roll away. I'm gonna get a mini set as well. Okay. Okay, so here is Triflers Need Not Apply. This is a more purple batch than usual, but it's very Triflers Need Not Apply. And Sweet Baby Angle, which is just this really pretty pastel with splotches of red. So both of these were club colorways when I was doing the My Favorite Murder Club a year or 2 ago. Somebody's walking by and Esther's not happy about it. And then here's the My Favorite Murder mini set. I think I have 2 left. Oh, but yes, so all of these colorways except for this one will be full skeins in the shop. Super excited about that. And then I just wanted to show you some yarn that's in the shop right now. So let's get into it. So first we have Ophelia on Favorite, and I have 4 of these. Then I have Below My Feet. These 2 are almost opposites of each other, so this one leans more pink and this one leans more green, and these would be great faded together. But yes, Below My Feet. I love the speckles in Below My Feet. Such a good colorway. For those, do I have any more favorite? Okay, let's talk singles, because I am obsessed with singles. I don't know if you are, but I really love singles. It's my favorite for sweaters and shawls. And I love it held with mohair or baby sari. So I have golden hour. I have 4 of these on single. And honestly, if nobody claims them, I might have someone sample knit a wool and honey out of it for me, because I love it. I love it that much. So golden hour. I have No Trail to Follow, which is a beautiful minty blue with dark gray and black speckles. Puddle Jumper, which is a lavender purple with dark gray and black speckles. Perfectly Adequate, which is just that. It's just a perfectly adequate gray. It's right in the middle. It's tonal. I love it. It's a perfectly adequate gray. And then, last but certainly not least, Siren. I need something out of Siren, and I don't know what it's going to be. But if you don't know, this is based off of Jacqueline Salem, so Brooklyn Knit Folk, her couch is very similar to this. This is more blue than her couch. Her couch is definitely more emeraldy green, but I just needed something similar to her couch, and this is it. I think I need a sweater out of this. Maybe a wool and honey out of this. Tables are turning. Okay, so then I have my fuzzy bases. So Halo, we have No Trail to Follow, which I love it so much, and I think it would make a beautiful no frills or a love notes. What? I just love it so much. I think it would create such a cool depth of color. Then we have Rattle, which is always great. Prudence. And I also have Rattle and Prudence and sweater quantities on favorite and single. So Prudence. Etching, which is my dark gray. And I think my, I don't know how to pronounce it, Definius. It's the new Jessie May pattern that I'm obsessed with. But I think I would do the flutter sleeves. And I think I want to do it in a dark gray. There's that. And then my Jam, which is just a really great peachy pink. So there's that. And then Cloud, I need to do a restock of Cloud, but I still have plenty. So I have 4 Accidental Gemini, 4 of Betty, which is just a pretty blue, 4 of Perfectly Adequate, and 4 of Go to Your Room. And Go to Your Room and Puddle Jumper are sisters. All the yarn's falling to the floor. I have so much fuzz on my mouth. Okay. So when I put the same dye colors that create this color on this one, it creates a more blue. And I honestly think this would create like a super holographic looking sweater. So if you're into that, I also have Go to Your Room on Halo. Just saying, I think this would be a really cool pairing. For like a ranunculus or love notes or no frills. All of the wonderful fuzzy patterns. But yeah, that's it. I have a lot of fuzz in my mouth. Yeah. So today I'm just going to pack up some orders that need to go out. I'm going to hang out with my daughter. I'm going to knit on my no frills sweater and just kind of enjoy the day. Tuesdays are usually pretty slow around the Stress Knits household. It's Doug's Monday, so it's our Monday. For those of you who don't know, my weekend is Sunday, Monday, because that's Doug's weekend, so that's when I take my weekend. So if I don't answer emails on Monday, that's why. Just so you are aware. So this is my first day back yeah, so I also might dye some yarn. Or I might wait until tomorrow when it's supposed to be warmer. I don't know. But yeah, so go grab those advent calendars and Hanukkah celebrations, or go grab some wonderful fuzziness. There's so much fuzzy yarn in. This is all Halo right here. That's all Halo. That's like 30 skeins. It's a lot. It's a lot for me. So yes, so with that, I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting my shop, and those of you who are patrons, thank you so much for supporting my Patreon. There's a wonderful video just for you for the next few weeks about this wonderful Rhinebeck sweater. So with that, I will see you next time. Happy knitting and have a wonderful week. Bye!